Right, I might actually go to, yeah, look at that. Hi everyone, so welcome to Soul Tribe Huddle. It's the 7th of August 2019, and tonight, we've got a really special night tonight, because we've got the cat lady sharing how it is she got to Partner of the Month in July. So really, really excited to have you share with us, Maxine. I'm actually going to spotlight you, honey.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spotlight. So well done for getting Partner of the Month. You're awesome. I'm just so blessed that I have, spent the last 17 years with you as my friend. And I get to share this amazing business journey with you as well. It's just such an exciting thing to share with you. So, and I'm just so blessed to share this honour for you because you really bloody deserve it. So Maxine is, you may or may not know, Maxine's at SC level. She has built herself a lovely little team and understood the whole concept of the business model right from the start. And so I'm going to leave the floor over to Max and just tell us a little bit about your story, honey. That would be really great. So why you said yes to this to start with. Tell us a little bit about that skepticism that you had when you first started too.
Yes, obviously I came from a traditional work background as a nurse, doing the JOB and not being terribly satisfied for all the usual reasons. Too much hard work, not enough pay, too much overtime, not being able to work holistically, all of the, not being aligned with my goals. My kids.
We love his bum. It's beautiful. He should be proud of that bum.
He loves his bum a lot. Yeah, and then I did the natural health, so that was that was really a lot better. But I mean, for me, really being interested in this business, it was the freedom. I mean, I was at the age where I can live anywhere, do anything. Finish raising my kids. Well, more or less, at home now. So I just really wanted to work online, and I didn't really know how. And I'd had a few business ideas about things I could do online, but I didn't know whether they'd be a success or not. That would be a lot of hard work and not getting paid for probably a long time, and hoping that would be something that would pay me. So yeah, to walk into an online business where the path is already mapped out, and it's all kind of a walk-in turnkey business straight away, start working online and earning money. I mean, it was perfect, and do it with a product that I really like and believe in.
So Max, tell me a little bit, because I know when you first started, like I still say to this day that you would be the least likely person that I would think would jump into this business because Maxine was one of the most skeptical people I had ever met, and she was not even on Facebook. I think she might have only just got on Facebook, and her profile pictures were always of a photo, not of her. She wasn't big on Facebook. I know Stephen really hated Facebook, didn't he? So tell me about that, because I know you had a lot of fear when you first came in. Tell me how hard that was for you.
I can't even remember hardly now not being all over Facebook. I can't even remember to relate to it. I think that was really a lot about finding my own path on Facebook. Realizing that Facebook is what I make it. It can be. It can be anything I make it, really, and it doesn't have to be a bad place or it can be a good place. And I think also I'm not stupid. I could see that that's how everything was going. And also when I set up my my natural health business, obviously I had to start putting myself on Facebook. I did a lot of traditional business advertising, like making up cards and hanging up flyers, and none of that stuff was working. It was obvious to me that it was all pretty much happening on social media. I got all of my clients in my traditional business came through my website or through social media. So, paper advertising is dead. I could just see the way it was all going, and it is. I mean, even websites are becoming kind of, we're even moving over more to apps on our phones, and social media as a way to do everything now. So even emails are starting to become a bit more like snail mail, and websites as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly is. So I know for you, Max, that you had a bit of a slow start too. I know that you missed your bonuses. You got to cumulatively to DVF, to SDVF, and to SC. And I know, like, for me, you were very different from me because I fast-tracked everything and got all my bonuses. So, so this was something that I wasn't used to, because after having Loach, who was the same as me, and then Maxine was a bit slower. I know for me it was big learning around, letting go and allowing the natural flow of each person come in as they are. But, just looking at where you have come and where you're at now in your business, do you have any regrets through that, going slower or not?
Well, I don't. I think it's just how I needed to do it. I had a lot more fear than I thought I had. I thought I was a pretty confident person, but I had a lot of fear. And probably one difficult thing for me was that because I was empty nesting, I was really finding myself again. Empty nest is a very, it's a real turning point where you're coming into a new phase of life, and you're really asking who you are and what you're about. And so I don't really regret it. I think it was just a massive year of growth for me that needed to happen. And this business, was definitely the vehicle that created that growth.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about that fear. You talk about fear. What did that look like for you, and how did you overcome it?
Caring about what other people think. I mean, it's so stupid, isn't it? But I mean, we all do. We all do it. We all feel like that.
Yeah. I mean, how many people can relate here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, probably most of you can relate. I could relate too. I was exactly the same. So how did you overcome that, Max?
I suppose I'm lucky because I am actually the kind of person, if someone tells me I can't do something, then I want to just go and do it, just to, thumb my middle finger at them. I do have that kind of aspect to me. But I think the thing is I fundamentally just believed in the business model. I believed in what I was doing. And I just, with the support of all the people around me, I just found my voice and got stronger in saying, actually, it's really good. It's good what we've got going here. Compared to the other crappy business models out there in the JOBs, I'm going to start standing my ground about it. And now I'm at the point where I will argue for it. I don't have any fear at all. I don't go and argue with people, really. I don't really attract people that much like that anymore. So, but no, I think...
It is really interesting when you talk about that, how you don't attract those people anymore. Neither do I. And you know that your belief is strong when you don't attract neck ferrets. So when you know your belief is strong in the industry, you just won't attract them. Because I know when you first started, Maxine, you had a few of them, didn't you? One of your closest friends. And that really broke you, didn't it? But it was a process. I mean,
Yeah, Moni knows who we're talking about.
oh, tell everyone about that experience, because that'll be a really good learning, because when you first start, it's normal to get neck ferrets, especially if your belief in the industry isn't so strong.
It is unpleasant, because I think we all fundamentally want to be liked and approved of generally by people. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, I did have this one person. At the end of the day, I actually got kind of angry about it, and there's quite a lot of, I don't think anger is a really good place to be for very long, but it can be quite a good place to be temporarily, because I think it gives you a bit of strength, and it gives you a bit of, like, I sort of got to the point where I was like, well, fuck you, you know, I'm right about this. You're not. So I think that was where I got to in the end. I just got a bit annoyed, and then I was able to just kind of have the strength and the courage to sort of fight back a bit. But yeah, I mean, I just ended up blocking that person. But I don't know. It's just it's quite hard, but it's just something you have to. Like one of the neg ferrets, I actually said to her, "Are you going to pay for my retirement? Are you? You know? No, you're not.
I love that.
You're not. So therefore, you don't get an opinion about how I make my retirement fund plan. You know? So that at the end of the day, that's really what I came back to is." You know, they say it all the time, and it's true. Just keep your eye on the goal, you know.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant way to deal with it. At the end of the day, it's your decision because it's your life. No one else has an opinion on your own life. No one has the right to have an opinion to your life and choose what you want. So,
yeah,
brilliant. So,
until you pay my bills, you don't get to have an opinion. So
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
but it's horrible. I mean, it is hard, and I think we just have to kind of fight through it, really.
Yeah. So, tell us, Maxine. I don't know if that has been your biggest challenge, but you know what? I know that there's been a few times where you've almost felt like giving up. You've almost thrown in the towel. Do you want to talk about those and what stopped you?
Well, I did have a really big moment. It was a while ago. I think I was still back around SDVF or even less, maybe. And I just had this real, like, I just can't stand it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. And I went to bed and I was thinking, screw it, it's too hard. And then I got up in the morning and I had this real clarity. It was like I just had a really clear space in it. And I just had this really clear thought, if I don't do this, what else am I going to do? What else is there if I don't have this? And that was very powerful for me. Because I thought, okay, if I don't have this, I have to go back to the job, which I don't enjoy, or I have to keep slaving away trying to grow my business, which I don't really want to do, or I have to go back to dreaming up some kind of idea that I can do on the internet. And when I looked at all the other alternatives, it was just all the shit that I didn't want anymore. So that was really the last time I felt like, yes, I'm giving it up. I've had other times since where I've thought it's hard, and I've been a bit of a crybaby about things. But you know, at the end of the day, I always come back to that. If not this, then what? You know.
Love
That's
that.
not going to give me what I want, so I'm sticking with it.
That's a really good way to look at it, because I say if you ever get to that point where you want to give up, you always go back to why did you do it? Why did you say yes to start with? What is the reason that kept you there? And because everything that we do is about either creating pleasure or, you know, going towards pleasure or avoiding pain. So, you know, like what Maxine's was avoiding pain. So she didn't want to go back to that pain that she had been in. And I've been in the same place. And I've done the same thing. Well, what else is there? I'm not going back to my old day job, not going back to getting crap pay like I used to, not going back to doing the 9 to 5 like I used to. It's just a no-go. So every time you feel like you want to give up or it's too hard, what's harder?
Exactly, that was exactly how I felt. Is it really harder to just, you know, delete someone's shitty comment on your post, or is it harder to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and get in your car and go to a job, you know?
That you don't necessarily enjoy.
Is it harder to reach out to somebody who may not reply, or whatever the things are that make us feel really uncomfortable? Is that harder than, you know, looking at the rest of your life going off to a job? What's really harder?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what you are excited about, Max. You know, what rewards that you have got from this business.
Well, the massive personal growth. It's really funny because I was speaking to my lovely new teammate Janet in the UK, who's unfortunately decided to just take a bit of a step back while she's doing some other course. But I was talking about how I'd started out being really afraid of everything and, you know, worrying about what people think. And I said, now I'm really fearless. And I really honestly, from the bottom of my heart, don't give a shit what anyone thinks anymore. And she said, oh God, I cannot wait to feel like that, you know. I thought, well, that's, you know, I've often said if the business gave me nothing else but personal growth, it would still be worth $1 million, you know.
Yeah, amen to that one.
Mm.
So do you want to share, sorry?
What else am I excited about?
Yeah.
Just passive income.
Mm.
Passive income, and it's happening already, and my income grows every month. I'm at the point now where it grows every month. So, you know, it's not an illusion. If you do the work, that's what happens.
Yeah. Love that. It's true. Mine grows every month too. And I've got a nice little income. Definitely well and truly replaced my day job. So, So Maxine, is there any other wisdom that you want to share? Anything? Throw it out there. And if anyone's got any questions for Maxine, just pop it in the chat or come off mute.
So what I really wanted to share the most, and I think this is a big thing, is so network marketing doesn't have a very good stickability rate. 50% of people drop out in the first year, which is a shame because the first year is really when you are learning and when you're growing and when you're developing planting your seeds and developing your network, and not a lot might not happen in the first year, but it's a very valuable year. And the reason I think, and what I see a lot of people doing when they start in the business, they get all excited, they throw out posts, and I've seen this with some of my team, and then when people don't all just come and jump on and go, yeah, I'll take your products and I'll jump on your team, people get really disillusioned and get really disheartened. And it's disappointing. You know, you put your lovely post out that you've thought about for ages, and then you don't even get any likes, or you only get 1 or 2 likes from us. And it's disappointing. And then you finally get an inquiry, and then that inquiry doesn't convert into a sale, and then you get disappointed. And then you get a sale, and then the person doesn't reship after 4 months, and you get all disappointed. You get a teamie that doesn't work, and then you get disappointed. So my point is, and I was listening to Jim Rohn the other day, who's a beautiful guy. He's dead. He died recently. He was very wealthy in network marketing, and he said the secret to surviving this business is to discipline your disappointment. And I feel like just write that down and stick it somewhere. Discipline your disappointment. And I think that really is so, so true. You're going to be rejected. You're going to feel disappointed a lot. But you just have to discipline it and keep moving. And that's all you have to do, really. Don't let it knock you out of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and just adding on to that, so, you know, disappointment really is about expectations. So, you know, if you find that you are continuously feeling disappointed about things that keep happening, then I look at your expectations. Are your standards too high? Are you expecting way too much? So make it more about the long-term vision rather than the short-term rewards. Because at the end of the day, the short-term rewards are not going to come the way you want it to come.
And I was thinking that too when I was driving around Wellington today, and seeing the billboards and thinking, why do companies pay hundreds and tens of thousands of dollars to put their billboard somewhere and leave it there for 3 months? Why don't they just chuck it up for a week? Well, the reason is that people need to see it over and over and over and over and over and over again before they will jump on and go, oh yeah, I've seen that 50 times, now I'm going to actually do something about it. And our business is exactly the same. We just have to keep going round and round and round and round with the same thing. And each time we're bringing more people in and more people are seeing it repeated. And we're gradually building momentum, but you need to give it that time, and you just need to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency, excuse me. So consistency is key around that, because at the end of the day, it takes, and you know, Maxine mentioned this about how many views, it takes between 8 to 12 views before somebody will say yes to something. So we're talking 8 to 10 posts, or 8 to 12 posts, 8 to 12 messages from you, 8 to 12 views of something that you're doing before they go, okay, I'm ready now. And it might be that you're having a conversation with them regularly, and you know, sometimes it can take them months, years even, before they go, yes, okay. But the important thing is that you've always got that consistency, that you are consistently posting, you are consistently reaching out, you are consistently having conversations with people, you are consistently caring for people and building relationships. Because every relationship that you are building, even if it's not that person that becomes a customer or a team member, it might be the person that they know, it might be a mutual friend, it might be someone that they introduce to you that becomes part of the team. So it's like, okay, a good example is Karen. So my friend Natasha introduced Karen and I. Natasha isn't in the team, Karen is. So, you know, it's always about building relationships with people, with everything that you do, and keeping that consistency up all the time. So, oh, there was something else I was going to say, now it's gone. Anything else you want to share, Max?
I was also going to say, even if you post every day, I know we keep saying this, but people also, I think, get worried that if they post on the product every day, everyone's going to see it and they're going to feel completely spammed. Most people are not, no one's going to see your post every day. Even the people that you have a lot of contact with, like, for example, I chat to Harriet all the time in Messenger, and I still don't see all of her posts. I still only see a few of them. So just don't worry about the spammy thing, you know. Nobody's seeing every single post that you put up, certainly not every single product post. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, as long as you are doing one thing a day about the business, the product, the program, the testimonial, one thing. All the rest of your posts can be whatever else that you want to add value in. But just that one post, and often, you know, some people can go 2 or 3 days without seeing any of your posts, even if you are talking to them daily. So that's really true, Max, really true. So have you guys got any questions? He's beautiful, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Have any of you got any questions for Max while we've got here? Just come off mute if you do.
I've got a question.
Go for it, Loach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, so at the beginning, how did you feel about getting team? Because I know for me, when I first started, it was all about customers. I didn't feel confident with team at that point.
No, same. I don't know why. Yeah, and it's actually kind of stuffed me up a bit because, yeah, I was the same. I felt like, because I'm a nurse and I'm into health, that the product, that seems like something that's not too strange. But yes, but jumping into promoting the business and getting team I was very afraid of that. I probably spent most of my first year really avoiding that. And the whole thing is, since I've been through this whole journey, it's kind of crazy that I had that attitude, because when it comes down to it, it's sharing the business is where my passion lies. Looking after people is something that I've done for so long. It's sort of not number one for me, but getting to see people take control of their finances, getting people out of shitty jobs and waking them up to this way of doing business. That's what I feel really excited about. So, but yes, I was too scared to, and it was all tied up in that thing of what will people think of me? What will people think of me flogging my crazy pyramid scheme? But I think the answer for me is, when I talk about the business, I really come from the heart. I come from how I really feel about what this business can do. And I have to say, the last couple of posts I've done on the business, I've got likes from people that are not Juice Plus people, it's interesting. I'm starting to get likes from normal, ordinary people, the people that I was afraid of. Because I'm speaking from the heart, and I'm just like, today I just posted about how I went to see my mum, and I could do that because of this job. And if I'd stayed with what I was doing before, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have been working. So I'm trying to, and I think, Tanya talks about this a lot. Lauren Gallagher's really good. Denise is really good at this. And Kat, obviously, as well. Just come from the heart about why you love it and why you think it's a good model, and why you really would like to offer it to people,
Yeah. That sounds like it would make all the difference. I think, like in the beginning, I mean, I've only ever had one team and she didn't work, and that's how I got when I got my SDVF. And so I'm in after having a break, a completely different place. But I think, it's around, I've been thinking about you guys, and when you've been doing it for a while, you just know what to do, because you're just replicating it. You're just doing it over and over again.
That's right. I would also say, though, the biggest thing for me also has been figuring out who my tribe is. And have you watched that video by Sophie Hughes about finding your tribe?
Maybe a while ago. What is it?
I think Tammy's actually tagged you in it, honey. Loach. I think Tammy tagged you in it just recently.
Oh, okay. I've got that sitting there ready to watch. Yeah.
That's gold. Watch that.
That would be my advice to anyone if you're ready to start looking for team. Really sort out who your tribe is, because initially, when I was starting to get team, I was kind of connecting with people in Facebook that I knew randomly, and afterwards I thought, they're not even people I would want on my team. I just sent them invites and I don't even want to work with them. And then I was doing cold market ads, and I was attracting a lot of people that were not.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah,
really not at all. And then the more clear I've become on my team, and the more I've worded my ad, I'm getting really, really quality people now. Really quality people, like a few people that aren't really right, but it's made a massive difference. Just getting very, very clear on who they are, and like intellectually, but also I think just aligning with the energy of those sorts of people.
Yeah. Totally. Cool.
Thank you. And another thing is too, like, I think just owning the business, just owning that it's working for you. What is it that's working for you? What is it that you're excited about? Because I know you've said to me before, when we were overseas, you were like, I'm getting massive FOMO watching you travel. I really want to be able to do that myself. So getting really in touch with your desire, your passion. What is it that you want? What is your vision for your life? You know, I know that you started doing this because you wanted to help, you wanted to share your story, right? You wanted to be able to share your story so you could help other people. But in terms of the business side of it, what is it going to bring you on a personal level? What gets you excited about how this can create your future or bring you the future that you want? When you're really clear on that and you can feel that, I'm actually going to do a training on that next week on really getting strong on your vision and getting really excited about where this business can take you and what you can create from it. Just from some stuff that I found from Linda. So, but just think about that, Loach. Just even write some things down around, you know, what is it that you'd love? Would you still want that travel? Do you still want to be able to travel? You know,
it actually feels different to last time. It feels I'm really clear what I want, so I've just got to manifest that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say, Loach, which is really helping me, and I'm becoming a lot clearer about it. And Adam talks about this a lot, and he does some really good trainings on what does that income look like, because I think that's something they went over a lot in the conference. If you want to earn $3,000 a month, or if you want to earn $5,000 a month, how many clubs do you have to have underneath you? Basically, you have to really look at what does that mean in terms of the structure of your business. You know, for me to get to 12 club, I basically need, you know, 3 really strong working frontline with 3 strong working people under them. So you start to get an idea of how many team you're going to have to attract to get that structure. Sure. And I think that just having that structure kind of sitting in the back of your head is really, because it's like they said in the conference, if you haven't got a map that shows you how to get somewhere, how are you going to get there? You're just going to drive around aimlessly hoping that you show up there one day by accident, you know.
Oh, I totally agree, because that side of things is still a bit obscure for me. Like when you talk about, what is it, 12 club, I still don't really understand what that means. So maybe for me, educating myself around what that means and being clear as to what I have to do.
A long time to do it as well.
A club is someone who is a qualified business underneath you, Loach.
Okay.
So you know how you qualified yourself?
Yeah.
When you started,
okay.
Yeah. So it's someone who's underneath you who is qualified. That's one club.
Got it.
Yeah.
And what Adam says is basically, in order to get one strong worker, you're going to have to attract about 6 team. That's the average. And he said Cheryl Cortese in 25 years of network marketing said that is definitely the average. That plays out every time. Attract 6 team to get one strong worker. So you know, to get to 12 club, you know, I mean, I'm going to have to attract 20. I'm going to have to get 20 to be in the game. So. And that's great. You know, that it makes me feel better, because I feel like I actually have something to work with. You know, I'm not just wandering around aimlessly wondering how it'll happen.
It's tangible.
The other thing too that I want to just be a little bit clear on, because I know that, you know, Maxine talking about the clubs and getting to $5,000 is like 12 club. That's just residual income. So when we think about that we get paid 3 different ways. Remember that you've got retail profit, and retail profit isn't just your own customers, but it's also all of your team's customers too. So you're getting the top part, you're getting the gap between whatever your team is to the next level. Say, for example, for any SDVF that I get, so any SDVF underneath me, I get about $20 per customer that they've got. And then like for any DVF underneath me, I get about $50 because of where I'm at. And, you know, Maxine's the same because she's an SC. So when you get to SC, you're getting about $112 for every box of premium. So, so you can actually earn a lot of money just by getting to SSC, for example, or just to get to QNMD. You can actually be earning $5,000 at Q anyway, and then that doesn't include the clubs. So the clubs is extra. So when Adam talks about how, you know, to have a $5,000 a month pay, you want to have a 12 club business, that's just residual income. So that's on top of what you're already earning in terms of retail profit and bonuses.
Does anyone want me to put that in the chat, the number of clubs to the approximate monthly pay? Would that be?
Yeah. Did we already put that in there?
It's somewhere. I could put it in again though. I'm not sure where it is, but
it'll be. I'm sure it's in the chat. I'm sure if you go to the chat photos, I'm sure it's in there. But yeah, you could pop that in if you want. Can you put it in here? Can you post it in here? Or you can't? No.
Yeah, I can. I'll just put it in the chat afterwards.
Okay. Okay.
But I think that's really, helped me get much more focused. I've been doing a lot of three-ways calls lately with Tanya, and I really think a lot of it is because I got that structure clear in my head, and I thought, okay, to be 12 club, I have to attract 20 team at least. To be 24 club, I'll probably have to attract 50. Or whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 36. Okay, so for 24 club, it would have to be 36 frontline. So, you know, to me, that's really clear, and somehow that is just that visualization being, that map being in my head, has started bringing it towards me.
I'm cracking up about your cat. He's just adorable. He's just adorable.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it, Terry.
These club partners, is it just directly under me, or can it be I get a partner and they get a partner and that's considered two? I mean, and they're both qualified.
Anyone that's under you, Tammy.
Any club under you.
Yeah. Any qualified business that's under you is a club.
So qualified under one of my qualifiers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I've got you. Okay,
but it gets quite complicated though.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
It gets a little bit complicated though when you look at things like that, because what happens is, I'll show you a little short diagram. I'm not going to get too much into it, because for anyone new it might be a little much. But
you're not up, Tanya?
Sorry?
You've got me spotlighted. So.
Yeah, I'll just unspotlight you.
And my husband's been eavesdropping, and now I think I've got a new partner.
Oh, that's great.
Money, yeah.
That's awesome. So we're just going to use you as an example, Tammy. So if we look at, so this is Tam, and if we look at, say, Roy, so say you get, and then there's Tracy, and then you've got Hazel. So say, for example, Tracy gets qualifies her business, and maybe even Roy Mata qualifies her business. You're actually only going to get paid for one of them, not two of them. You've got to have two qualified frontline to go too deep. So you might have like a 3-club business, but you're only getting paid on these two, or you're only going to get paid on these two if both your frontline are qualified. So if Hazel isn't qualified, and they are, you're only going to get paid on Roy.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's really important to keep building wide. Yes, also because, you know, you're building clubs levels, but it's really important to get your front line qualified as soon as you can, because it means that you're going to get paid the deeper they go. So the wider your club grows and the deeper that your clubs get, that means you're going to get paid on them. Got that?
So
Yeah, and I think also I've got a couple of, you know, people who are looking at it at the moment, and I'm actually just asking them to get a little bit of interest before they sign up, so that when they jump on and they've got that time period to get their bonus, they've already got their sales ready to go, so that, you know, hopefully once they sign up, there's no big kind of rush to then get out there and look for people. Yeah,
that's a good idea, Tammy. That's a really good idea. I mean, often that's what I kind of suggest to people on the 3-way phone call anyway, is that just go out and start talking to your friends, start on the product, start talking to your friends, tell them how excited you are about this and how it could change. You're hoping it's going to really change your health and it could help them. And then by the time they've started the product, they've already got interest and they'll be ready to jump into the business. So it's the best way to do it.
Well, so yeah, another way that I've had a complete blank on Adam. Crikey, I'm tired. Adam talks about how if you sign someone on and it's a midway or beginning of the month, he says don't sign. Take their details for becoming a partner. And when they get their first couple of customers, or it's the end of the month, whichever comes first, then sign them up as a partner at that point. And that's I think that's a really good idea, because the problem is if you sign them up same time, they have to wait 5 days to get their products, and then, you know, it's half of it's gone. So
yeah, we did mine on a Thursday or Friday or something, and then it was kind of the Monday before I could really get the product came like the next Wednesday or something. So I'd lost a bit of time, and and the other thing that I said to these people is that if they do get interest and they've got customers that want stuff now, they can always sign up with me and I'll swap them over. Once they join, they'll get all their customers back. I won't keep them, you know, I'll just look after them. So yeah,
you just have to make sure that it's done within that month, though, that they join the business within the month that they've ordered their product, so that they get paid on it and they can use that for their first promotion.
Good to know. Yeah.
Right. Does anyone have any questions? Have you got a question, Moni?
No, I'm just absorbing it and making sense of it.
Okay.
Building a map in my brain.
Okay, is there anything else you want to share, Max, before we sign off?
No, I think that's probably enough, isn't it, for the moment?
Great. Okay, well, I'll just stop recording.